Good morning, Kid Street. Hopefully you got a chance to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ last Sunday during Easter. So we're now into another season on our Christian calendar. So before we had the Lenten season, if you remember, we celebrated it with lights, and we showed a light before that was the light of Jesus Christ, and all the lights went dark on Good Friday. When he was resurrected on Easter Sunday, we lit up all the lights. We had all the different lights that represent candles and the light of Jesus being in the world. So now this new season we have is called the Easter season. So Easter season, as you can probably guess, began last Sunday at Easter. And so now we are in the second Sunday of Easter. And so this is our overall schedule. So we will have 7 different Sundays at Easter that we'll celebrate, and then they end with what's called Ascension Day, and we'll talk more about that as we get to it. So after Jesus rose from the dead, he didn't go to heaven right away. He was spotted a lot of different places. So Resurrection Sunday, if you've seen, the church has their 7 Sisters at the Cross service, as they call it, where they have all the women who were there at the tomb. So he had Mary Magdalene and John, who saw Jesus when he arose, Resurrection Sunday, and another person named Mary, and Peter, and some other people that got to see him. But not everybody got to see him. Remember, there were 12 apostles to start with, and then we got down to only 11 because Judas was a traitor and he was gone. So at the end of Resurrection Sunday, the 10 of the surviving apostles saw him, but the one who didn't, his name was Thomas. And so Thomas didn't see him until the second Sunday. So we're going to commemorate Thomas today. And so Thomas, when he saw Jesus, his body looked a little bit different because it was a glorified body, even though he'd been resurrected. And so Thomas said, well, Jesus, I don't really know if it's you or not. I need to see. Thomas had heard about Jesus being resurrected, but he really wanted to see him first because he wanted to be able to see the holes in his palms where they hung him, where they nailed him to the cross. And he wanted to see a pierced mark in his side where they pierced him in the side to make sure that he was dead when he was on the cross. And so there's a picture here that we have that represents this second Sunday of Easter. And you can see it's a picture of Jesus, and you can see the nail marks in his hand. And so when Thomas saw those, then Thomas said, I really believe this is Jesus. And there's a verse for that, and it comes from the book of John 20, chapter 27. It says, put your finger here, see my hands, reach out your hand and put it into my side. So Jesus, the light of the world, was back. All the apostles saw him, and he continues to be the light in the world for us, even though he's now ascended to heaven, but that's another story for another time. God bless you all.